Namaste, angels. This is our new moon in Aries reading, and I'm doing it just ahead of the actual new moon for some of us. So it's 12:12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The new moon here arrives at 4:50 a.m., which is 9. But for people in Pacific time, it's at 1:50 a.m., which is 6, right, or 15, which is interesting to me because the moon is also at 15 degrees. So I think that's pretty cool. I just want to go over quickly some other things that are happening in between the period before the next major moon cycle. So the period for which this reading will cover. It's going to go from the 5th. So on April 10th at 1:01 p.m., Jupiter goes retrograde in Sagittarius, which it rules. That should be interesting and fun, I think. As fun as a retrograde can be. April 17th at 2:01 a.m., Mercury enters Aries. That should also be fun because, well, the good thing is Mercury finally left yesterday. I think it was yesterday or Wednesday. Pisces. So it had Mercury left retrograde, right? It went direct, and it's still in the retrograde zone, or what's called shadow as it leaves. And that happened yesterday, the 4th, if I'm remembering correctly. I believe so. And it won't be conjunct with Neptune like that again for a while. So this new moon with Aries is going to clean up, maybe dry up, burn all that water that had us confused with Neptune and Pisces, illusion and all that kind of stuff. That's out of the way. And now the new moon in Aries comes, and of course the sun in Aries also. And now we got to get our thoughts straight. We got to get clarity. We got to get organized. We got to pick up where, some things left off. Some things may have gone undone, like they fell by the wayside. They fell through the cracks. No one even noticed, because this would be the Neptune and the Pisces stuff that was happening, right? So now the pieces to puzzles that had sort of disappeared will be coming back. A text, you didn't even realize you never answered it, and messages in your inbox you didn't even realize you never opened it, you never got to it, an email that disappeared. Everything's going to start surfacing now that we're out of that Mercury and Pisces space, and getting to a place where also in our relationships too, where we can pick up maybe some things where we left off. We may not have left off in a good place. We may have left off with Mercury retrograde. We may have left off in conflict or argument, but we can, that energy dissipated, like the fire from Mars coming in on that water, and it's just all going to dissipate, evaporate, turn into steam and disappear. And then we'll have clarity, and it'll be like, oh, I don't even know why I was mad at you. Can we, make up? Maybe exchange some forgiveness or something and make up. So did I go through everything? Yes. After the Mercury in Aries on the 17th, on April 19th will be the full moon in Libra again. So you might be saying, that sounds familiar. We had a full moon in Libra last time. Yes, we did. There's another full moon in Libra. We can call it full moon in Libra part 2, or 2, or the second, or something like that. Also, it's not, I don't have it here written down to tell you about, but I think on the 9th, speaking of Neptune, I think on the 9th, Venus and Neptune will be conjunct, and that is going to be pretty. Because, right, Venus is the planet of love, and Neptune is the planet of higher love and our higher selves and unconditional love. So a deeper level. So when those two come together, it should be pretty fun. Now, here's the thing, it's kind of like a throw caution to the wind sort of thing. So it's jumping in a sports car, you know, convertible with the top down on a beautiful day and taking off down the highway doing, you know, 100, and maybe you just forget to put on your seatbelt. You know, you're fine. You end up fine, but, you know, you should have put on the seatbelt, and or you would have done it any other day. Aries would have made you, Mars would have made you do it any other day, but that day you didn't. Like, you're not, maybe you won't, maybe not, you might not be like thinking about the consequences of stuff. Maybe just like too in love when those two come together. In any case, let's get back to what's going to go on right now with the Mars and Aries. Like I said, my feeling is any remaining water, because it wasn't just me that was still experiencing Mercury retrograde kind of stuff. So again, Mercury was still in the retrograde zone, even though it went direct. So in shadow, so leaving the zone completely. And because it was still like attached with Pisces and Neptune, stuff was still funky. And yesterday, I don't know about for you, but for me and others that I know, including some of my, you know, friends or relations on Facebook, yesterday was pretty weird. Wednesday was pretty funky. So, actually, that's no longer yesterday. Yesterday is now Thursday because it's after midnight here where I am. But Wednesday was pretty funky. A lot of like bizarre stuff happened, and some of it trickled into like Thursday morning and things like that. So I expect possibly even abrupt turnaround. All right, so I just wanted to show you guys what the cards that I was going to use. I thought this was pretty cool. So in my animal tarot, the Hierophant card, Major Arcana card 5, is called Unity, right? So yeah, that's the Hierophant. When I shuffled my Fortune Teller cards, I also ended up with a card called Unity on top. This one further says, a time of divine understanding, renewal, peace, and hope. That sounds awesome for right now for a new start. You radiate and attract great love. So I think I'm going to use these second. Romance Angels, I'm beginning with give your relationship a chance, work on your partnership. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I pulled out my angel therapy cards for the advice, and I'm going to start with be willing to forgive. So I was just talking about maybe some forgiveness, and we can make up now that the funky energy has passed and dissipated, evaporated. Ask the angels to clear your mind and body of past pain in exchange for peacefulness. So some of us may want to do that. And as I often do for my moon reading, with my butterfly cards, I am beginning with welcome the new. And that's exactly what we do with a new moon. Fresh starts. And opening to courage. Courage. Which feels like strength. Right? Major Arcana card strength. Which represents the sign of Leo, of course. And it's just basically the courage to face whatever comes our way. We are strengthened. We are even somewhat like emboldened by Mars, right? Mars, the planet of action, aggression. So we are, yes, emboldened, I would say, dare say. And just able to handle whatever comes our way, including body changes. These I feel are super positive. A lot of people working on exercise, diet, pregnancy. I saw this, you know, the butterfly like getting rid of its cocoon. And I just picture like a baby, you know, when they come out and they're still like partly in the sac, the amniotic sac. Somebody may be pregnant. That could be the body changes too. And some courage for you to face that. Maybe you're afraid of the future or something. The unknown as it relates to parenthood. Maybe because of finances. Courage. One more. Self-employment. That may be how you fix any concerns, how you rid yourself of any woes or worries with regard to your finances. You become your own boss. Courage. I'm going to cut here. And changing your mind. So, you may have decided to walk away from something or someone is what I'm feeling before. And maybe now, again, that the energy has shifted and we're in a better place, maybe you are changing your mind. You're going to take a different action. But it doesn't have to be attached to relationships. That's just what came to me first. Walking away from somebody and then saying, nope, stopping and turning around and going back to them. To fix the situation. But anything about which, you've decided, I'm going to take a different course. I'm going to do something else. Maybe, again, with regard to work. Rather than continuing to, go to work or to study, to become certified, to work under somebody else. You know what? I've changed my mind. I'm going to start my own thing. Maybe I can't afford to quit my job yet. So I'm going to start moonlighting while I begin my own whatever your creative outlet is that you think might be, and a money-making endeavor. And you do that. So any kind of change in your mind. And the overall energy is relationship dynamics. So this definitely could be connected to changing your mind. Like I was saying, I just felt somebody stopping and turning around and going back to somebody. Divine being or couple. Recent past. Masculine's higher self. Near future. Blocks to individual or coupled progress or, union. What the feminine can do to help herself, what the masculine can do for himself. What the universe recommends to both, but they will have to affirm to it first. And then the universe will give them the support. It's like you meet the universe halfway and say, okay, I'm in. And then it'll say, okay, I got you. Divine being or couple. End of an era. So yes, we're closing chapters, all kinds of chapters, and we're starting new. Welcome to the new, right? So that old stuff, leaving all that behind. We're not taking any of this baggage with us. It's all covered in red or whatever. It's like, let it burn. We're setting that ablaze. It's out of here. Recent past. Parental care. Wow. It's so true because the last, I think, two major moon transits, so the Libra full moon and I guess that would have been the Pisces new moon. I did talk a lot about parents, and I did have a lot of people that were taking care of their parents or, moving beyond their parents passing and things like that. Wow. Okay. So parental care. Also, we talked about us possibly being the parents, right? Something going on with our children. Time to nurture yourself. Your children are maybe growing up and different things that they need to get into. Or even those that are small, we still need to figure out some kind of balance for, time for ourselves and maybe even a little bit of a social life and work and, mommy and daddy time. So there's all that kind of stuff. Near future. Take the next step now. So that can mean so many different things for different people. But also it fits with what I was saying I was feeling about this moon. Like picking up where we left off. We may have, started something and then Mercury retrograde came and it just came to a screeching halt, and it just wouldn't work. The energy wasn't coming together for a month. And now we can take that next step. Masculine's higher self. Self-employment. Very nice. Blocks to individual or coupled progress, grief work. And it's sitting here next to parental care. So for some, this can still be having to do with, I have, people fighting for settlements, you know, like their parents left them something like their heirs to some sort of settlement, and they've got court battles and stuff. I have people. I think I have people who've lost perhaps parents again recently, too. Yeah. And some of it is not that serious, thankfully. Some of it's grief because of relationships is what I'm feeling too. Relationships, so that could have to be, you know, it could be tied to our overall energy of relationship dynamic. Some relationships, parent and children, again, you might be the parent and it's with your children, there's a disconnect and you're trying to come back together, mend the relationship with your children, or, you know, you're the child, even if you're grown watching me, and, you know, you have a problem with your parent and you were wanting to heal that relationship in some sort of way. And so there's like sadness and pain that comes with that. So that's coming through now as grief work too. And it's something, so it's been a block, but it's also one of those, it's something like unavoidable. You want to do this. It's not really a block. It's, you know, something that holds you up temporarily. A block I see is more like this is really in the way and, you know, it can prevent me from getting to my destination. This is a temporary setback, sort of, because it's something that you don't want to leave undone. You have to get to it. So some of us are dealing with that now. Things going on with our parents and or children. And parent can be like a parent figure too. It doesn't have to be your actual biological mother or father. I also just got, you know, somebody else who you look to, you know, in that kind of way, a father figure, a mother figure. That applies also. All right, so what the feminine can do to help herself in the meantime, seeking and finding. And I've also been feeling, those of you who watch my like weekly readings and stuff, you know, I've been feeling a lot of stuff about DNA and needing to find members of your family and to understand different things better. I can't, you know, and wouldn't suggest for anybody to do one of these ancestry tests. I mean, I haven't even done them myself. I wouldn't suggest you don't either. But I haven't even done myself because I don't like the way they hold on to your DNA. You know, but to each their own. So somebody may want to do that. And it may not even be that serious again in that kind of case too. This may just be a matter of you looking into something, you know, paternity or records. Maybe some sort of confirmation, something having to do with lineage. And it may be tied again to fighting for inheritance. Maybe you have to prove who you are because of the inheritance. You got to prove you're really a child of this person or, you know, an heir or something. I wish it would come through more clearly. I don't want to spend too much time on it because I want to do a lot of spreads. So if anything else comes, I will definitely talk about it, of course. What the masculine can do, there's religion and spirituality. So sometimes with grief work and with parents, right? Thinking about these sort of things, our parents and our own life, you realize the fragility of life, right? How fragile it is and how short it is. I always say, you know, life is both too short and too long to spend, you know, unhappy or worrying, right? All these different things. You know, if you think about it, like 90 years, that's a long time to be miserable, but it's also a short time, right? To be here on earth when there's so much to do and, you know, so much love to spread. But those kind of things, when you think about the fragility of life and, being separated from our parents or having our parents being ill or something like that, is when we do turn, or even ourselves being ill, our own vulnerability and fragility can be when you turn to either religion and or spirituality, and you want to look at that more closely. So I feel like that's what the masculine is being moved to in connection to this. That's what the religion and spirituality is about. Like, how can he handle maybe a relationship, a falling out with his, father, or not knowing his father or something. His spirituality and, deepening of that is going to support him in that and help him in that. That's just an example. What the universe recommends for the two and wants to help them with, but they have to first affirm, gracefully aging. So again, the spiritual growth, maturing, emotional growth and maturity, and coming to accept like the literal part of this, the fragility of life and growing old and changing, and your hair is growing, graying, and thinking about the physical changes again, hormone changes and all that kind of stuff. That physical body card with the one with the cocoon. That's what the universe wants to help us with. So gracefully aging, whatever it means to you, whether it is aesthetically, physically, or spiritually, emotionally, all of the above. And the outcome here for this period is changing your mind. So through all of this, experiencing all these things, self-employment, the end of chapters, end of an era, parental care. For some, this is what the end of the era is. Like you had to, yeah. Maybe it was last week. I was talking about how, and I think maybe a couple of weeks ago too, talking about like having to put the parents in a home or something, or the parents were in a home. But then something came up with, I said, all of a sudden I was feeling like they could live somewhere else. Maybe maybe their health is improved. They're able to live by themselves now, or they're able to go to assisted living or something. And so you don't have to, it's the end of you having to take care of them. Or maybe because unfortunately they have passed on, you don't have to take care of them anymore. So now that era's changed, and you can change your mind about some things because maybe you had made plans. Well, I can't do this because I'm with mom and dad, or mom or dad, and so I'm going to do this instead. But now that your life's changed, or that family dynamic and relationship dynamic has changed, now you can change your mind and say, you know what, I'm going to move. I'm going to open a business. I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to whatever it is. I'm going to get into a relationship, or, I gotta, maybe the parental care again is for you and your kid, you're becoming an empty nester or whatever it is, or the child's other parent, right? Seeking and finding your child's other parent. The father's going to take them instead. So now the mother, can change her mind about some things and live her life differently too. All right. Before anything else comes to me about this spread, I do want to look at some love. Not yet, actually. But this might show us love too, this spread. I'm going to do it from the perspective of the divine masculine. And I'm beginning with unity, a time of divine understanding, renewal, peace, and hope. You radiate and attract great love. And opening to sun. Open your heart to the enormous growth ahead. So I just ended on a note about growth as relates to our own, again, physical, emotional, spiritual growth and maturity. Unity. And star. Hard times are over. Chapter ended. You no longer have to live that way, right? We just talked about that too. Look forward to an abundance of happiness, enthusiasm, and positivity. Still unity. And plane. A journey is indicated, either physically or metaphorically. Your life will become more full. You may be visiting someone, they may come to visit you, or you may just move forward, or you will move, not may, you will move forward. And that can definitely be in some sort of partnership, relationship. Unity. And one more. It is patience. Slow down, change your attitude, like changing your mind, and clear your mind. Unity. So again, I do feel that the Aries will help us to clear our mind of all the illusion and fantasy and whatnot that Pisces created. And it's flowers. Be generous. Success and emotional fulfillment are yours. This may be attached to forgiveness, maybe attached to growth, you know, the growth we were just talking about. Celebrations, making up, giving somebody flowers. How awesome is that? Those who watch me with any kind of regularity or have seen my moon readings at least before know that no moon reading happens for me without the moon actually showing up itself. And so that is our overall energy. Moon. Pay attention to your intuition at this time and move ahead confidently. So more energy of movement forward too. The divine feminine. The masculine as relates to the feminine. And as it relates to himself. And as it relates to the union as a whole. Overall, what the masculine would have the feminine do, contribute, surrender, whatever word you choose to use, toward the union during this period of about 2 weeks, right? Through the 18th, the 5th through the 18th. What he himself is willing to. And what the universe would have both do, but again, they're going to have to, and wants to help them with, but they're going to have to affirm first to do that. And then the universe will give them that support they seek. Divine feminine. Luck. You're right to be optimistic about the opportunities that are ahead of you. Very nice, feminine. Positive outlook, faith, and all that stuff ahead. The masculine as it relates to the feminine. Woo! Marriage. You are attracting emotional fulfillment and unconditional love. This is a very Two of Cups kind of card, but it's really awesome in this placement. And for some, again, you know, absolutely, there can be actual marriage, engagements, or just a deepening of a commitment. Very Two of Cups. As it relates to himself right now. Fool. So ready to just like jump in with, you know, throwing caution to the wind. I talked about that too in the beginning of the reading. And I said probably around April 9th was what I was thinking. If I remember correctly, that's when the Venus and Neptune come together. And I felt some fool coming on. So the masculine is ready. Have the courage to embrace change. Take risks and be adventurous. Awesome. This is vulnerability too. Anytime you see nude body, especially he looks like he's running away nude. He's got his stuff tied up there. And his best friend, his dog here, he's got support. But anytime you see nude body, to me, that's reflective of vulnerability and surrender. Because you're fully bare. You've bared yourself to the world, like literally, when you're nude and outside. The masculine, as it relates to the union as a whole. Whoa. Lovers. You guys saw me deal. You saw me place these cards before you live. Wow. Marriage with his feelings about the feminine, and lovers for his feelings about the union as a whole. There are two paths ahead. Be true to yourself. This can mean a few different things. Okay, so there can be two paths for the couple. There can, the partnership, the union. There can be two paths as it relates to there's a path for each of them and, a decision to make between the two as to whether those paths, shall meet at this time or not. And there can also be two paths as in you have more than one choice. Maybe there's a karmic, in quotes. I put it in quotes because karmic has been come to be known as like a derogatory term to speak negatively about our, divine partners, other mate, soulmate with which they, have to experience something. And it's really not meant to be a derogatory term. Karmic only means destined, as in of the universe, and where a lesson is meant to be learned from something. That's it. So that's why I put it in quotes. But there could be a karmic, versus a divine union. And so those could be the two paths too. Like what are you going to choose right now? Overall, Lion. So I began right away with courage, or opened right away with courage earlier. And now here is that Lion also. Harness the loyal and protective aura of the lion and charge ahead magnificently. So this is definitely like a major arcana card strength, as I mentioned with the other deck, which major arcana card strength does represent the sign of Leo in the tarot. So that may have some significance. What the masculine would have the feminine do, contribute, surrender toward the union. It is unity. Wow. Time of divine understanding, renewal, peace, and hope. You radiate and attract great love. This is so beautiful. What he himself is willing to do in this period. Wow. Sun. This is him being open, honest, right? I think the sun illuminates everything, sheds light on stuff. So where there was confusion, where there was misinformation and whatever, like we're getting clarity, we're shedding light. Open your heart to the enormous growth ahead. Crossing his Fool. How beautiful is that? What the universe would have the two do, but they will have to affirm, and the universe wants to help them. It's celebrations. You're ready to bring new and exciting things into your life. And isn't it funny? I felt celebrations when I looked at the flower card before, laying these after cutting. So yeah, I think this is confirmation of that. You're ready to bring new and exciting things into your life. The universe wants to help you to do it, but you have to affirm to it. You got to say, okay, I'm ready. I'm going to, go ahead and let go of the past. I'm going to let, that era actually end the way it wants to so that I can take the new stuff. But you have to do that. And then even if it's difficult, the universe, once you affirm to it and you commit to it, the universe will help you through it, even if it is difficult for you to let go of the old for the new. And the outcome in this spread. Ooh. Snake. Your intuition and healing powers will guide you to a better path, but be careful. And yeah, definitely. You know why? Because I like snakes actually. And in this card, as you can see, snake is pretty positive, but at the same time, it warns you to be careful. Well, snake can be, in addition to the way I see it, and as it's positive, it's also connected to, of course, Kundalini spirit, and which is, positive too. It's like your spirit, your higher self. And this is about, your intuition and your healing powers, or your higher self. So I think that's how they mean it here. But it's a dual meaning. I think they're also warning you about snakes. And the month of Lent always is full of snakes and Judases. Always. So I've been doing these readings since 2016. And since, my first year on, I started in March of 2016, March 10th. Since that year, I've been talking about Judases during the month of, preceding Resurrection Sunday, or Easter, as some call it. The senseless murder that we've seen recently, Nipsey Hussle, whatever. The first thing when that happened to him, the first thing that I said was, oh, I had been talking all morning about Selena, because I have this weird gift where I remember like random dates, people's birthdays, you know, celebrities and things, birthdays or historical dates, anniversary of death and stuff. So I had been talking about Selena and then heard about that. And I'm like, oh, she was killed by somebody that was jealous of her too. Her business manager had become like obsessed with her and jealous of her and shot her, and also a thief and was stealing from her, but shot her. And then this is Nipsey Hussle's friend, somebody that was jealous of him. And we hadn't even learned that yet, but I don't know why I felt that it was similar, that it was right away. I felt that it had to do with jealousy. And I started talking about Lent. I posted about it and everything on Facebook. But on a smaller scale, you can find just people being really extra bitchy and hatery and wanting conflict, wanting to start with you and whatever. And you're going to have to decide, like it says, like, you know, be careful. It's not telling you to avoid life or whatever, to avoid confrontation or avoid conflict. That part's going to be up to you. But I'm telling you to expect it during this month, or if it finds you, you know, you don't find trouble. If trouble finds you, remember that this is like the period when it happens, so that you're not, you don't think that it, you know, you don't fall into a place where you think it is you and then you become vulnerable to it. You recognize it for what it is. Oh, this is that, you know, that hater shit. This is that Judas shit. Okay, I know how to deal with this now because I'm prepared for it. But the rest of the spread, whoa, I got to say again, the Leo showed up, marriage, unity, lovers, celebration, the Fool, luck, the Sun, and then just, yeah, because you got so much wonderful stuff going on, that brings out the haters, right? People don't want to see you that happy. And particularly if you're with people who you consider friends, family, you know, blood or not, and you announce something that should be celebratory and they don't look happy, those are the people you definitely have to watch, you know? Let me do another spread. Beginning with, again, Major Arcana card 5, Unity, the Hierophant, which is also about marriage and commitment and or cutting people off. I know that sounds like they don't even fit together. But the Hierophant for me is also about people, places, and things with which you no longer align that have to go. You know, they no longer match your vibration, and you need to seek and find, like that card that showed up, particularly for the feminine. So this could be a special message for us since it's coming back to me now. You need to seek and find people of your vibration or higher from whom you can learn something, and maybe they can learn something from you, and you can exchange similar energy. But any low vibe entities, definitely you're going to want to begin to move away from them. You've outgrown them. You've matured. You've had growth, right? All the growth we saw in that second spread, maturity, spiritual growth, emotional growth. You've had that. I mean, they're still, you know, stifled. And so it's time for you to move on. Maybe they'll catch up later. But the opposite side is, this card is about commitment. This card is about engagement. This card is about marriage, moving in together, signing contracts, and all that kind of stuff. And opening to the Hermit. This is about being by yourself. Or it's also about spiritual enlightenment too, and helping other people to become enlightened. So together, these two, yeah, very much about spirituality. And both about earth energy too. The Hierophant represents the sign of Taurus, and the Hermit represents the sign of Virgo. So those two, the earth element, pentacles, also about growth in general too. Take time for contemplation, to retreat and to go within. Be a beacon for others on their spiritual path to enlightenment as well, not just on your own. So you, again, people able to learn from you, you able to learn from people. Hierophant. The Two of Winter. Procrastination and worrying about what others will think is blocking you from making a decision. If you're torn between your own desires and someone else's, follow your inner guidance. That can be connected to the two paths too, One path is, you know, what mom and dad would have me do, or what my friends would tell me to do. And the other path is my own, right? That could be the two paths with regard to your union. What are you going to do? Because now we have this two opposite, again, unity or union again. Hierophant. Wow. The Hierophant opposite the Four of Spring or the Four of Wands. It's definitely like marriage energy, commitment energy, moving in together, all that kind of stuff, cohabitation. It's time to kick back, to relax, and to celebrate all that you have. Joy arises from success in your career, the completion of a project, or a very happy home life. Unity. And it's the Eight of Autumn. It's the perfect time to learn all you can by returning to school, taking a seminar, or conducting research. Do your best work, and the law of attraction will bring you prosperity and career advancement. So where you put your effort and your energy is where you're going to get your outcome. It's about reaping what you've sown. And notice it's more of this earth, fresh off of the Hierophant and the Hermit. So the overall energy is the Two of Summer, which is like the Two of Cups. I'm sure a lot of people are happy to see that. But maybe because of that physical bodies or physical changes card, which I did feel positive about, I'm feeling the need to share something that I normally don't. And that is what the Two of Cups means about health. And it's like if you're dealing with a particular health problem, facing a particular health problem, or think you need to check something out, the Two of Cups, when it shows up, can mean that you need to find a healer with whom you work well, like make a part that you would form a partnership with, that you trust. It can be a doctor. It doesn't have to be a, you know, homeopathic or holistic healer. You know, when you say healer, that's the first thing that people think of. Including myself. But, you know, if you feel you need to go to a medical practitioner, then do that well. The important thing when this card comes up is that, again, it's somebody with whom you feel you can make a good partnership. And it can, again, be coming up because somebody finds out they're pregnant. So this could be the couple, right? The happy couple. They're learning that they're expecting. And so now you got to find, you know, a trustworthy obstetrician or something like that. Because, you know, I don't know. Typically, I don't think I've ever talked about health as related to the Two of Cups before, ever. Spiritually, since that came up too, it's about being balanced. Even though it's two people, it's like being one with the universe. So the two of you, the you and the universe coming together, and that feeling of one. It can be about the heart chakra, healing, opening, which I think one of the cards, oh yeah, the Unity card, right? It said, open the heart, or was that the sun? Something came up and said, open the heart. So we've seen that in this reading. For work, it's about appreciation or finding work soon if you're looking for some. So for those that I felt or we saw with the cards, might be working towards self-employment. You know, maybe you've had to have some patience and didn't seem like things were working out. This means soon as it relates to, you know, work and stuff. And for love, it's about, yeah, like the cups, the cards we've been seeing already, the marriage, the unity, the Hierophant, you know, all that wonderful stuff. It's about like true love, real commitment, deep commitment, or deepening of whatever your commitment had been, you know, becoming stronger. It's about balance. Twos are about balance and duality, faith. Still, there could be a need for forgiveness, though. And to heal something. Like, just because we see this doesn't mean it's perfect. And it's certainly not the same. Even if we do feel like things are great, it certainly doesn't mean that we can just say like, oh, okay, we got the Two of Cups, everything's good, gonna last forever, whatever. It just means that like the foundation for that kind of, for a real relationship, a long lasting, happy relationship is there. But, you got to still put that effort in. That 8 of Earth that we saw, what you get in is what you get out. But basically what you put in is what you get out. You reap what you sow. It applies here too. So you're going to need the effort. You're falling in love or experiencing a deepening of emotion in your current relationship. Marriages or romantic partnerships that were in distress also can still be saved. Don't give up. So maybe there was a breakup or a break or something, a conflict, a fight, an argument, with the Mercury and the Pisces and stuff like that. But again, now we're moving into this fresher energy with the Aries sun, Aries new moon. We can, start all over, basically. It's like a fresh start. Crowning the masculine. It is major arcana card, the World. For me, this is about something coming to an end, possibly slowly. The World, as opposed to the Tower, which can be an abrupt change, tends to require some sort of patience. Again, it is also a fire energy for me. I haven't attributed it to any particular sign. So Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, it's just a fire element energy when I pick up the card. Congratulations on successfully accomplishing what you've set out to do. You've made it through the lessons that life has offered you with grace and courage. So with grace, we also saw this earlier. The universe wants to help us to age gracefully. So to, again, mature and to move into the next chapter, move into the next phase, aging in that sense gracefully. So this is, they're telling the masculine the same thing basically again, because when major arcana card like this shows up, it means the universe, a karmic energy without air quotes, is coming in to support you and to help you ease you out of a situation into a new one. So that's why it may take patience. It's not abrupt. Masculine surrounded by the 10 of Winter. It's another indication that something that was difficult coming to an end. It's the end of a career path, a project, or a relationship. And that brings feelings of mixed joy and sadness, relief and disappointment. Put aside your fears about these changes and trust that a brighter future awaits. So again, about the old funky stuff ending, and we got to let it go. Actually let that chapter leave and, look forward to the new one starting. Trusting, having faith that it's going to be much better. Woo, masculine subconscious. It is major arcana card, the Lovers. Again, remember Lovers was his feeling on the union as a whole. Wow, yeah. And now it's his feeling again, because this position for me, I call it subconscious. It can be his thoughts or whatever. So it's his feelings again on what's surrounding him. True and long-lasting love finds its way into your life. Follow your heart with caring actions and choices. Major arcana card, the Lovers. Number 6. I also talked about 6 at the start of this reading. The 15-degree Aries moon at 1:50 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. The Lovers represents the sign of Gemini. This is interesting. Crowning the feminine, however, womp womp, dud. Your responsibilities may distract you from noticing all the gifts that God is presenting to you. Be open to investigating opportunities that come your way. So again, we could be too busy and not finding time for, to squeeze ourselves in, to be, social, and to go to work, and to raise our kids, and to whatever. We got to try to fit everything in, and we don't want to get so caught up in like mundane monotony and routine that we don't live. you know, and experience life, or notice, like, you know, stop to smell the roses, as they say. So that's what this card is about. Feminine surrounded by the Seven of Spring. Again, about decisions. If you make a decision, stick to it. You know, like say you change your mind and you say, okay, I'm going this route, and let people try to talk you out of it. No. Or like the Two of Swords that showed up, and it said like decision between what you want and what somebody else wants. And you're going with what you want. You put your foot down when the Seven of Spring shows up, and you stand firm. Be assertive, believe in yourself, and don't let anyone take away your personal power. Trust that your inner guidance is true and follow it completely. You don't have to listen to other people. Feminine subconscious, the Eight of Winter. Oh, we're feeling stuck somewhere. It's so easy to convince yourself that you're trapped when you really aren't. Trust that God will lift you to new heights and give you a greater sense of self-confidence if you first affirm your freedom. So we've been talking about affirming our freedom, and then the universe wanting to help us. It's the same kind of thing. And luckily for us, you see, we feminine got that luck before. Luckily for us, this placement again is about, you know, the mind. And so this is definitely in the feminine's mind. It's like a prison of her own mind. That's where she's trapped. It's her own self-confidence. It's her own insecurities. It's her own overthinking. You know, it's her own being conflicted and you know, worried about like wavering. Are they going to, you know, crack me? Am I going to not do what I want to do? Or am I going to be able to stand firm? Crowning. Major Arcana card. The Hermit is back. Take time for contemplation. That'll help you, right? Contemplation, not overthinking and overanalyzing and driving yourself nuts. It's about retreating and going within. Be a beacon also for others on their path to spiritual enlightenment as well. Major Arcana card 9, the Hermit, again represents the sign of Virgo. So the lovers, Gemini and Virgo, both ruled by Mercury. Again, I think this 10 of Winter, things are getting better because Mercury is moving away, or has moved away from Pisces, and instead, you know, leaving the retrograde zone completely now. At the root, foundation, Major Arcana card 14, balance, which is actually temperance in the traditional tarot, all about healing, restoration, and compromise, negotiation, coming together. Black being able to come together with white, and, you know, to make something that works for everybody in between. By merging varying points of view, you can generate an extraordinary new idea, compromise with others, and collaborate to discover a better solution. So this is about healing differences again. At the heart of the matter, the Ace of Winter. Implementation of your brilliant new idea may get off to a rocky start, but keep going. The challenges will help you to refine your plan and to reshape your goals into something even better. The Ace of Winter shows up when, yes, there had been some sort of difficult times. And so this is like triumph over those. Like we're beyond that now. Yes, the road may still be a little bit rocky ahead as we get going, as we get started. But more importantly, it is a new start. And so we're on our way when this shows up. It's like we got card number 10 and card number 11 back to back here. I'm going to further clarify these, though, with the Doreen Virtue Romance Angels. Again, beginning with give your relationship a chance, work on your partnership. Maybe I won't do all of them because I don't want to spend too much time. I want to be able to get this up. But let's do some. So opening to unrequited love. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. Can be about a breakup, can be about the need, you know, to separate or whatever. But this card also shows up for me as it relates to balance. And I think I've said the word balance a few times already in this reading, like, you know, needing to find balance. Give your relationship a chance. So needing to find time for yourself and for your relationships so that you can put that effort in, like the Eight of Earth. Stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. Stay optimistic and let go of control issues. Allow this situation to unfold naturally. Let go of control issues. And we come to chemistry. There's a strong magnetic attraction here. Overall energy is healing family issues, which I also felt, and we also talked about toward the beginning of the reading. That first spread with the butterflies, he definitely talked about healing family issues. Your life purpose benefits as you forgive your parents. It's not only your parents, it's any and everybody who is so influential upon you, so impactful upon you, that you can't move forward with your life without healing a relationship with them one way or another. Whether that means, to me, there's like two ways out. You know, if you are able to repair it, there's room to repair it, and you have an interest in that, then that's what you do. Take the effort, make the steps, take the next step now, like how the near future card said, toward doing that. So the next step is probably to seek forgiveness and to offer forgiveness and to try to meet somewhere in the middle, right? But if there is no room for that, or there is no interest in that, you're not interested in doing that, then the other option, as far as I'm concerned, is to walk away. Or you can think of another option, perhaps on your own. Again, not only with your parents, any and everybody who is, has so much power over you, they're able to hold you back. Let's clarify the world for the masculine. The Hermit for us all. And the Four of Summer for the feminine. Let's just do the top row. Atop the world is give your relationship a chance, work on your partnership. So the masculine being pulled out of this, whatever situation was holding him back from putting the effort in that is required for the relationship. Maybe a love triangle with Major Arcana card 21 equaling 3, or some other sort of party of 3. Maybe his parents, a third energy, or some other third energy. Maybe Mercury itself that had been in the way, moving out. Now he is freed up to give the proper amount of attention to his relationship. I'll do atop the Hermit. Wow, it's another wedding card. This situation involves marriage. So it's going within to, consider that. How you feel, where you're at in terms of the commitment. I should have waited till last to do that one. For the feminine, what's with her Four of Summer? It's control issues. So that's what's endangering her of missing out on life, control issues. So that's what we got to work on. Further advice, beginning with willing to forgive. Ask the angels to clear your mind and body of any past pain in exchange for peacefulness. Further advice from the Animal Tarot to the masculine, the Four of Winter. Thoroughly think things through before making a decision. Continuing to overanalyze isn't going to get you any closer to a resolution, but meditation and prayer will bring you the answers that you seek. Meditation and prayer. Okay, that's what you need to go within. Feminine. The Nine of Summer. So this is a big yes. In a general sense, as in things that relating to love, but it's also your dreams and stuff coming true. Now's the time when your dreams come true. Don't worry about how this will happen. Just give gratitude to God for all that you have and all that's still to come. Masculine, you are stronger than you know. We've heard this message many times today too. The strength and this lion energy keeps popping up for everybody. So this is more strength to you to face whatever it is you need to. Feminine, for us, healthcare change. Told you, somebody's pregnant, definitely. And of course, everybody's not pregnant. But again, some of the feminine may need to find some sort of healer for whatever reason. That's what that Two of Cups meant for you. And, just somebody that you feel comfortable with and you feel like you can trust. You resonate with them. Masculine. Eagle, You will soar toward your destiny with a greater clarity and strength. This is like more Ace of Winter, Ace of Air, this eagle. So this is triumph and victory for you, succeeding in your endeavors, perhaps after a difficult time, you know, that had preceded it. Feminine, coffin. Again, we got to let go of stuff. Natural endings abound, right? Let it die a natural death, whatever it is, whatever has to close, whatever chapter has to close. Don't hold on to it. Don't hold on to it. Let go of control issues. And take care with your health. So that's coming up again too. Now I felt it, and then the cards brought it up twice for the feminine. Masculine, from the angel therapy cards, fairies. You have a strong bond with the fairies, and your life purpose involves helping Mother Nature. Feminine, for us, you are a powerful light worker. It's safe for you to be powerful. Your spiritual power brings you great blessings or in loving service to the divine. So that can be about growing, again, spiritually and stuff too. Oh, where there had been separation, masculine, you're going to fix that. Reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life. And feminine. Whoa. Whoa. Soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. We've seen every awesome card of love in this deck, or in any of these decks, in this reading tonight. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I'll be back with some more client readings. Namaste.